morning, it's Tanya Kleckner, the Zen Stitcher. Welcome back to my channel. It's Friday, September 2nd, right before the long Labor Day weekend. It's a beautiful day here in New York City with lower temperatures and low humidity, and the windows are open, and it's just lovely. Absolutely lovely. I think we'll get some rain this weekend, but we do need it, so I'm not too disappointed about that. I thought I would start by answering a question from Ellen from my last video. She was wondering what threads I used for Bridget Power. If you remember, Bridget Power is the sampler that I showed that I had just gotten back from framing. And I'll insert a picture of it here so that you can remember what it looked like. But so to answer your question, and to others who might also be wondering, I use DMC. And I love stitching with DMC. I love stitching with silks. I love stitching with overdyes, but DMC is really lovely to stitch with, and it has that added advantage of being readily available, inexpensive, and the color selection is just amazing. So I will switch between different threads, but if a chart calls for DMC, often I'll just stitch with DMC. Like I mentioned, I don't have a shop near me, like a dedicated needle workshop, so I get my DMC from Michael's, which is in downtown Brooklyn, and that's, that makes it really easy for me to start a project or get something kitted up if I want to get started on something. The other question she asked is, did I change anything? And I didn't. I did not change anything to the chart or to the colors. I followed the chart. I used GigiR's chart, but Ellen also raised a really good question, and that is that this particular sampler was originally charted by Of Female Worth, and I think the way I understand it is GigiR actually bought the sampler from the designer of Female Worth and then recharted it. So so it is available from GigiR, like I said. I also happened to find the Of Female Worth chart as I was stitching GigiR's Bridget Power, and picked it up, but it was just to have it. No other reason. I didn't use it for stitching. So thanks so much, Ellen, for asking those questions. I find that I don't go into a lot of detail because I'm still kind of nervous doing this and talking to you all, and sometimes I go fast over details. So if I don't include information, please feel free to ask me any questions, because I've probably glossed over things because I was so anxious to get off camera. That's weird, I know. Anyway, so I thought next I would give you an update on my progress of the gratitude chart that I'm stitching for my sister. So let me go get that and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So as a reminder, this is what I'm stitching for my sister. It's called Heartful of Gratitude by Cottage Garden, and I am stitching it on 46 count linen using the called for threads, and I've made a fair amount of more progress. So really all I have left to do is to finish the basket, finish that rose below gratitude, and then a few vines up the back of the bird, and I don't know if you can see it, but I did make one small substitution. Instead of stitching a little house, I put some hearts off the breast of the bird because I don't know. I didn't really particularly like the small house. So anyway, oh, and the other substitute I've made is the head of the bird and gratitude. I'm using a bluish black called Old Crow, and that's instead of a black thread that was called for. So I should excuse me. I should be able to finish this pretty soon. Actually, maybe possibly this weekend. I'm not sure. Okay. So I thought I would also share with you some of my other whips. I'm going to show you 3 other whips that I am working, well, I haven't worked on some of them for a while, but I hope to get back to them pretty soon. And the first one is by Amy Mitten. And this one is called, my cat is sitting on my stuff here. Okay, move, baby. Come on. Sorry. Go. Okay, so the first one is called A Thread of Connection. And this is by Amy Mitten. And that's what it's going to look like when it's finished. And this is not a reproduction. This is an original that Amy charted. And it's really fun. There's I don't know why I think this is so fun, but I like this man here. He's really, I guess, it's a little gruesome, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I don't know. That's not fun. No, that's not fun, but it's quirky. I guess that's why I like it. Sorry. Oh, that didn't sound right. Anyway, probably cut that out. Okay, so I'm stitching this on 40 count Lambswool, and this was a kit, so it came with the kit, and I've got I don't know, maybe a third of it done, maybe a quarter. Anyway, it's really fun. The threads are by Amy Mitten. They're her own silk threads that she dyes herself, and they're really lovely to work with. So there are some interesting stitches in here. There's cross stitch, double running stitch, some queen stitches, some satin stitches, and I guess there's going to be some couching as well. So I might actually get back to this for September samplers month. So that's one. And the second one I wanted to show you is called Thirsty Heart, and that's by Heartstring Sampling, or Samplery, sorry, Heartstring Samplery. And I think this is also an original design of from Heartstring. Yes, it is by Beth Twist, an original design, but really cool. I love that stag. And the saying is, as the heart panteth after the water brook, so panteth my soul after thee, O God, from Psalm 42:1. So yeah, really pretty. I love those flowers. And this is my progress. Oopsie. Okay. I think this is also on 40 count. It might be a little higher count. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I'm terrible at keeping track of my fabric. And I use the call for threads, which are Weeks, Dye Works, and Gentle Arts. And finally, the last one, and this is one I haven't stitched in a long time. It's not even cross stitch. It is all French knots. So cute. I love chickens. It's called the Pecking Order. And this is by, excuse me, Regent. This is by Teresa Lehman Designs. And that's my progress. It's really fun, even though it's not cross stitch, but those little French knots are actually quite fun to do. So I've got a ways to go because not only are all the motifs in not only are all of the motifs in French knots, but the background is in French knots as well. So when finished, it's going to look like a little rug. I think it'll be really cute. This might go to my sister too because she likes chickens. Okay. And that was with DMC threads too. Yay, DMC. All right. So the other thing that I thought I would share with you today is my collection of project bags. And so I thought it would be fun to do a parade of project bags. And I'm going to start with 2 from the lovely Barry at Stitch Folk. So this one, oh my God, look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? With the applique tomato and then the little tomato here on the zipper pull. Oh, I love it. It's so much fun. So anyway, I love that one. She does such great work. Here's another one that I picked up, all French general fabric, which is gorgeous and pretty inside as well. Yeah, she's amazing. Barry's amazing. The next bag that I wanted to show you is this really cool bag that I got from my friend Krista. It is so fun. It's like a recycled plastic, and it was made by Blue Q bags. So I don't think it's necessarily made for, projects, embroidery projects, but it's really great. It's really super to take to retreats because it's waterproof and really protective. So I love it. And then I picked this up at one of my retreats from Rovaris and thought the yellow matched really well. Okay, the next bag is one that I made myself. So I used to sew a lot when I was growing up and haven't been really sewing very much lately, but I feel like I'm still pretty good with a sewing machine. And I have a group of friends here in Brooklyn that get together about once a week, either by Zoom or in person. All of those friends are quilters, so I am the only one that stitches, but we all decided to make a project bag, and this is the one that I made. So it was really fun. I've got more fabric, so I think I'll try and make some more. I don't know if I'll do it with plastic again. I like the plastic because you can see what you have in the bag, but I don't know. Anyway, it's neither here nor there, but it was really fun to do that. Okay, the next 2 bags. Now these 2 I bought at a retreat, and they're all plastic. And it has just a little pretty trim around the edge. And I bought this small one too. So I use this for threads, and then I put my project in here. This is by Trish Fine, and she's on Facebook, and I think she has an Etsy shop. I think she's only on Facebook, and then she usually, I think she has like a catalog, and you get in touch with her ahead of time and ask her, to make you something. So I might pick up some more of these because, again, I kind of like that plastic. You can see, what you've got inside of there. And again, really great for retreats because it's like waterproof. Yeah. And I'll list her contact information below with a link to her Facebook page. And then the last bag is this one. So I can't remember where I saw these bags. I picked this one up from, oh gosh, what is the site? They sell a lot of quilting supplies, and it's lost. I'll put it down below. Anyway, the bag is called It's So Emma, and it's like a meshy bag, kind of a plasticky material, and you can embroider on it. So I downloaded this freebie chart from the DMC site, and then I embroidered, cross-stitched, using pearl cotton directly onto the bag. It was really fun. And again, a great bag to bring to a retreat. Because if, it's just durable and plastic and waterproof and, kind of a fun thing. So, and then I added this cute little charm on there with all sorts of sewing thingies. So you can get these from the website that I'll list below that I can't remember. Gosh, everybody shops there. The heck, I should have looked this up. Anyway, and then the other thing at Shepherd's Bush sells charts that you can use to stitch on the bag. So I'll list that link as well. And I think they sell like 3 or 4 different charts. One says Stitch, one says Joy, a couple of others. Quilt, I think Quilt is one of them. So those are just a selection of my project bags. I think it's really fun to have, different ones. Some that I've made, some that I've bought, some that I've weren't necessarily marketed as project bags, but can be used as well. And just makes it kind of fun for my stitching projects. All right, so the last thing we're going to go through today is I thought it would be fun to show you some little smalls that I made using freebie patterns, and then I finished them up myself. And I like to do, like I said, I like to do big reproduction samplers. But sometimes after finishing a big reproduction sampler or a sampler, I need kind of a break. And so often what I find is I stitch something small just to sort of make that transition from finishing a big one before I start another one. And so I think this was a couple of years ago now, I stitched this little Let Love Rule chart. This was something that Modern Folk offered as a freebie. It's no longer a freebie. He has it for sale on his site to download, but it's not very much. It's like, I don't know, 3 euros or something. But anyway, I thought it was such a lovely design, and I had a little bit of this red fabric linen, and instead of doing red thread on a cream, I decided to do a cream thread on red fabric. And so it's really, really lovely, really fun to stitch up. And then I just put a plain back on it and some vintage buttons that I had in pink. And then I just stuffed this with fiberfill. So that's one. The second one is refuse to wilt. Be well and refuse to wilt. And this is a freebie chart from Needlework Press that she distributed during the pandemic. So I stitched it during the pandemic, 2020, and then finished it myself. And I used this fabric that, how did I get this? I think when I was in the process of buying a new chair, I got a bunch of samples of the fabric, and so it's sort of a velvety fabric, and I just hung on to that and then decided I could repurpose it and use it as a backing for this little pincushion. And this is stuffed with sawdust, so it has a nice heft to it. And then I added this little ticking fabric here, so another really fun stitch. I think I did this, maybe this is 56 count, not quite sure, but it's quite high count linen, so that's fun. And the last one I want to show you is this one, Needle Linen Thread Stitch. It's actually called Our Daily Thread by Stone Street Stitchworks, also freebie. And they, the website, offers two versions of this chart. You can either stitch it with those words in it, or it's charted with the alphabet. But I thought the needle linen thread stitch was really awesome, and I finished this chart, or this little pincushion with some fabric that I had, and then I believe this was also a sample of some not embroidery, but a sample of some fabric that I got for a couch or something like that I hung on to. And oh no, maybe this is wool. I lie, it's wool. Yeah, so I love this one. That was really fun to do too. So some fun things to do with some freebie charts. I'll put the links to the charts below for you all. All right, and I guess the last thing is I've been thinking about what I'm going to start next, and since I have a bunch of samplers already started, I don't think I'm going to start a new sampler for Sampler September, but I'll probably go back to some of them, maybe the Amy Mitten one, and try and make some progress on that during September. But I do feel like I want to start another small, and my birthday is actually on Halloween, and typically I don't stitch Halloween things, but I did pick up this jack-o'-lantern pattern last year, and I thought that was really fun, so I may actually start this. It's really, really cute. And will I make it into a sewing pocket? I don't know. No, haven't decided yet. But anyway, stay tuned. So that's it. Not a long video. Thank you so much for watching and for commenting. And please ask me any questions that you might have. Like I said, I like to get through these videos quickly, and so maybe I've glossed over something or not given information or full information. So let me know if there's anything I can answer for you, and I hope you all have a really great weekend, a nice long weekend for Labor Day, and enjoy your stitching and some downtime with your needle and thread. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.